Hey everybody, welcome to Comics Covr'd. I'm John, CEO of CovrPrice.com, and this is my co-founder and friend Matt, CCO of CovrPrice, and we do a little show every week to talk about fun stuff. However, we were gone last week, so apologies for that. Scheduling and all those things get in the way, but we appreciate you guys watching. We had a couple people reach out and say, could you please do your shows? Stop missing them. So
JSS Brooklyn is keeping me on track. We
are committed to making sure each week is us here. Yeah. And we like it. We enjoy the show, so it's fun. It's just timing is always hard. But how you doing, Matt?
Oh, peachy keen.
Yeah. What's new? What are we talking about today?
Today we are talking to Matt Moylan. I hope I'm saying your last name right, Matt. Of UDON. Why I'm excited about this is because if you know me, I collect video game covers, and UDON will be the first publisher we've had on, and mostly because I want to talk about Mega Man, and I want to talk Darkstalkers, and I want to talk Street Fighter. These are all
always wants to talk about these things. That's all he talks about.
These are my favorite things in the comic book world. These are the things I will buy regardless of print runs, and regardless of if they're too expensive, or these are the exceptions I make. I told our staff that I have rules that I've set for myself of buying exclusives and buying books just to cut reckless online spending, right? But UDON breaks all those rules. So,
yeah. And so Matt's been director of publishing over at UDON since I think 2006. They had Street Fighter over there for a while, and now they just got full licensing for all of Capcom stuff. Not full, but yeah, but for a lot of the titles, Mega Man and Darkstalkers and all that fun stuff.
Well, they got it.
So yeah, so before we do, just if you guys aren't signed up for CovrPrice, sign up for the free trial. Collection management, price guide, raw sales, slab sales, new releases, FOC information, content, all that fun stuff wrapped into a cool little interface that we like to call home. So check that out and sign up. So without any further ado, let's bring Matt on.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Hey guys. Thanks for having me.
Is it Moylan or Moylan?
Yep.
Okay.
It means son of the bald man or something like that. And
hey! We're in right company then. Good.
There you go.
Well, Matt, thank you so much for joining. So if you could, for people who are listening, they may not know much about you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to be director of publishing over at UDON?
Sure. I've been working in comics since 2002. It's the only thing I've done since college is working in the comics industry. So I got a co-op placement at Dreamwave Productions, and they had just as I came on, they had just announced that they had the Transformers license, and the first issue was just being finished up as I got there. So
that was a big deal. If you guys weren't around for the Dreamwave Transformers line, it was a huge deal at the time, because it had been 15, 20 years since the Marvel run.
Yeah, since the G2 comics, even in the early 90s.
Right.
The last time they did it, but it was huge. And yeah, people don't understand. Like signings with giant lineups down the street for the people. The first Transformers series was #1 in sales in comic sales for 6 months in a row.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
All 6 issues, and one publisher had made the top 10 12 years before that. One non-Marvel DC Image book had made the top 10. It was an X-Files issue or something. But I like the story that there used to be a store it's still there, but it's a different store now. But the original Silver Snail store in Toronto, they're famous for doing huge window displays, 300 G.I. Joe guys all fighting and that kind of stuff, taking all or a full scale Rorschach from Watchmen, like a scene from Watchmen. And for when this comic came out, they just put up they cut two copies of the comic up and just pasted in the window. That's all they do.
Enough said. Boom.
Yeah.
We could probably spend this whole show talking about the drama
Yeah,
of Dreamwave and Alvin Lee and
it
artists.
was Pat Lee was the one at Dreamwave.
Pat Lee,
Yeah.
not Alvin. Yeah, sorry. Alvin is like, his art is amazing.
Yeah, for sure. He was still at Dreamwave when I started there. So I was at Dreamwave for 3 years until unfortunately the company went under, and I spent a little bit
Also
freelancing for random people. Like I did a little bit for Dabble Brothers, and I did a little bit of stuff for IDW and all these different publishers until a friend of mine told me that Eric Ko at UDON was looking for someone to do like press and like write press releases and marketing stuff. And so I got hooked up with Eric, and yeah, since then I just my thing has always been like people, when someone asks you, hey, can you do this? Can you do lettering? Like, oh, I could try. Like, can you do an ad page? Can you write a press release? Like, sure, that probably. So I've done like everything you could do in comics, I think.
I guess that's why you make it, right?
Well, your profile says writer, illustrator, and art. Well, I guess the illustrator would be an artist and all that. So you've done all of it.
Yeah, and I finally got to do a cover for the Mega Man. It's not actually released yet. It's a cover we haven't decided what to do yet. But I did a cover for a comic that I wrote, Mega Man ZX Timelines, and I was able to convince myself to hire me to draw it.
Twisting your arm, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I've done everything. I've been a flatter, I've been a colorist, I've been lettering, writing, graphic design.
What's a flatter?
A flatter is like the colorist assistant.
Oh, okay.
So they'll do like the basic like Archie Comics flat colors. It'll just save the colorist time. They can do whatever they're going to do, gradients or painting or cell cuts or whatever after.
Oh, gotcha. That's cool, man. Yeah, you've done everything. And out of curiosity, did you go to school for that? You said after you graduated, you went into.
I went to school for multimedia production, is what they called it at the time, in Thunder Bay, Ontario, at Confederation College. And the idea was they wanted us to eventually be project managers and know a little bit about everything. And that's kind of what I am in the end. But so they taught us a little bit about. We did some 3D animation, we did programming, and we did TV production, and we did website design, and so all kinds of like desktop publishing, which was what you do for print, what they called it back then. But so yeah, learned a little bit of everything so that when you're managing a bunch of guys, you understand what they're all saying and you can do it and help if you really have to.
Jack of all trades is better than a master of one, right?
Yeah. So once I got involved with UDON, that was in 2006. They had been around publishing. They'd been around for 6 years. Like UDON started in 2000 just as creative services for like mostly for Marvel, but for some other companies too. And in 2003 they started the Street Fighter comics. So yeah, they had already been around for a few years when I joined. Actually, how UDON got the Street Fighter comics is originally Eric pitched the idea to Marvel that you guys should get the Street Fighter comics and you should hire us to draw it. Hire the UDON guys to draw it. And at that time, Marvel said, like, sorry, we don't license stuff. We make the licenses. We don't bring in the licenses. And that's changed, a lot over the years. But at that time they weren't doing that. So Eric went for the license himself and managed to get it, and remarkably easily. I mean, they had to show Capcom that their artists were up to snuff, but at the time Capcom considered it like a dead property, that they were never going to do anything with Street Fighter ever again.
It will never die.
Yeah,
the nostalgia for that is so strong, and not to mention all the games.
Like early 2000s, right?
Yeah. So Eric would have been like maybe late 2002, early 2003 when he's actually talking to them. And at that time, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike was out. That was the most recent Street Fighter game, and the feeling in Capcom was that's the greatest at that time. It was like, we've made the perfect fighting game, and they had no plans to make a Street Fighter 4. It was like, if you suggested that at Capcom, they're like, how dare you say that Street Fighter 3 is not perfect? So they plan to never do anything with it again. So they're like, oh sure, try it out, do some comics.
That's awesome. Is it you said it was surprisingly easy to get the license. Has that changed now with the recent licensing stuff? Is it now more of a challenge to try to get that and win it away from other publishers?
Yeah, it feels like it for us, but I think it's hard. At least Capcom, I'd say it's hard to get a license from them unless you're us. But so Capcom's they're very picky about quality, even more so now, more than ever. I'd say they're very meticulous now about like the character designs. There's even official Capcom art where they're like, no, you can't use this for reference. We've decided this is the reference now for every character. Oh, wow. Because they've just got they used to be a lot looser about that, but now like Chun-Li has 6 spikes on her bracelets. She has this many ribbons. She has this many folds in her ribbons. They have gold ends, that kind of stuff. So they're very picky about that you stay on brand, and they also you really have to convince them that it's worth their time to approve things. Because at Japanese video game companies, there's a producer who's in charge of every brand. So there's a guy who's in charge of Mega Man, and he's not just in charge of the game, he's in charge of the brand. So he gets to decide if comics get licensed, if Mega Man gets to be a guest character in Smash Brothers, like everything. So
they put him in Love, Death, and Robots, right?
Yeah,
which was such a tease.
It was such a tease. Oh, it was such a tease. Like, and it's gonna be like, how long until we see this again? I mean, just to step back a little bit more.
Yep.
I mean, here's why these brands resonate and why they may not resonate in the early 2000s. Just we'll jump into 2000s and we'll jump back a little bit. In the 2000s, comics were kind of on a lifeline overall. Even though we had the creation of CGC, who was now grading companies, eBay was only, I think, 2 or 3 years old. Then you also had like, Marvel was still coming out of a bankruptcy, and Marvel, what was it? The MCU was just a dream. A lot of those were kind of just, a lot of their properties were split off amongst all the different studios. So, back in the 2000s, these Capcom characters weren't actively doing much with them because everything was kind of in this dormant stage. And definitely back then, video game based comics were considered trash. Like no one really gave them time. And now, you think about us as adults, especially our age, Street Fighter 2 was not only an important game to in our lives, but is one of the most important games of all time. It like, you play any fighting game and the fundamentals come from Street Fighter 2, right? You do a Hadouken, you do a Sonic Boom. All those moves are implemented into modern fighting games in a very big way. And then you move from Capcom, you go through the history of Capcom, from Street Fighter to Resident Evil, which put PlayStation on the map, right? You got Monster Hunter, which is massive in Japan, maybe not as much here. Devil May Cry, which was huge. Then you had like the Marvel versus Capcom games, which were even a bigger deal for us. But even before that, you had Darkstalkers, which was like only 2 years after Street Fighter. Was 94, I think, that game was released. And Darkstalkers for me was like probably an even better, even though you only got like 8 characters to play at the time. Like, Darkstalkers was kind of like an evolution of Street Fighter, or at least a port. It was pretty much a straight port of that game. But that's where we got introduced to like Morgan. And if you guys have not seen a Morgan cosplayer, then you haven't been to a convention. It's, you look at the history of these characters now, flash forward to our age. I mean, these are very nostalgic brands. I mean, you guys, UDON did a very smart thing, was at a time when it was like not considered something that people cared about. Now it's super important to not just video game fanatics, but just people our age in general who grew up on all these things. And all those things. And then you guys did a Final Flight comic too. And Final Flight, like, I can't tell you how many times I played it in the arcade, and then the port at home, which was a fantastic translation. And a lot of times they suck. A Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and I don't think they ever did Darkstalkers over to a video game, a console.
Console? Yeah. There's like PlayStation versions, Dreamcast versions.
Oh, there was the Dream, but I didn't have a Dreamcast. I was only Nintendo. I was a Nintendo guy. I never crossed over into the Sega world.
Yeah, it never made it to anything like Super Nintendo or Genesis or anything like that.
Right, which is too bad. I mean, the only ways that you would play the Darkstalker characters now are through the Street Fighter, the Marvel vs. Capcom games, or is she in Smash Brothers?
No, Morgan's been in Marvel Capcom. I think Felicia was in a recent one too, and Senko. But the crossover games is the only places they appear lately, or as like a variant costume for someone in like Street Fighter.
Right. I mean, I see Morgan at a convention. I mean, maybe she's very noticeable. So it's do we have a picture of Morgan? If you guys haven't seen it,
actually,
we might have been a little ahead of before I got there. But Udon might have been a little ahead of the game doing Street Fighter at the time they did, because it was kind of the same. It was very shortly after like G.I. Joe and Transformers and He-Man and stuff. They like comics started coming out in the early 2000s, and that was like the first nostalgia boom, because there's kind of a formula where like after 20 years everybody tries to buy back their childhood, right?
Yes.
So that was the time, once you have disposable income. So that was the timing. And Street Fighter was in the 80s, but nobody really remembers Street Fighter 1. Everybody remembers Street Fighter 2 from the early 90s. So so it was like just a little behind those properties. So it needed a few more years to catch up.
I like how you put that. Everyone tries to buy back their childhood. It's so true. That 30-year rule is
I mean, if you want to follow trends, just go back 20, 30 years of what was trending. If you want to be ahead, go back 30 years or, and see what's going to be popping up. Or 20 years is good. But yeah, Darkstalkers, they continued a lot of those characters through all those games. Like I said, I played a lot of Puzzle Fighter. If you guys never played Puzzle Fighter, if you could find it on any PlayStation store, it was fantastic. But they did it. So basically, these characters were kind of continued in a big way, like amongst diehard Capcom fans and diehard fighting game fans, and then here you guys are with the license, and you're going through Focus Attack in the early 2000s, right? Producing some of these. What's that?
I'm trying to think what the term early 2000s means now in 2020.
I know the 2000s to 2010, like I would say 2000 to 2010.
Yeah. Right? So we worked with Focus Attack about 2015 or so until the pandemic.
Oh, was it?
We had another store before that was run by Rupp's World.
So Chris Rupp's was doing that?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I need to bug Chris then for all these old Street Fighter books. If you're watching, he does. He's a fan of or a friend of our channel for sure. That's why he always digs these like magical. Whenever we talk about a price spike, he's like, "I just found 10 of them." Like, that's why.
It's making sense.
That's why. Okay, now it makes more sense. He used to work with he works with Aspen a lot and Alex Ross and currently.
Yeah, that's why we have. I think I have it here somewhere. That's why we are lucky enough to have an Alex Ross cover for an issue.
Let's see.
Yes, that was San Diego, right?
Well, it was Alex's people did it for his own store. So, one is like a special club. This one says Collectors Club on it, and this one I guess they just sold maybe at San Diego and on their store.
Right. I remember that they promoted the boxes for those for the special edition. Yeah, that was fun. I mean, it's interesting to see. Like, do you guys not have the Resident Evil license?
No, a couple other people have had it for comics. Wildstorm had it, and somebody else, maybe it might have been Dark Horse. Somebody else had it too. but we've never had a lot of success with that brand. Interestingly, we've done art books for it, and they haven't been huge sellers, even though Resident Evil's huge. And at least on the art book side, I think it's just that it's not a game that's specifically known for artwork, because it's always been a 3D game. And
I kind of feel like that's a book that if you did now would be pretty huge. Like, so I was working at Sony.
And if I go back to the producer thought, back when the comics that are out that did happen, I know the producer at that time wouldn't let them use any of the real main characters. They had to make up their own characters. And I think that's why it wasn't huge. I mean, it wasn't all about Leon and Jill and stuff, right? So
well, that would suck, because I mean, Resident Evil 4 is my all-time favorite game on the GameCube, and so I'm a huge Leon fan. If you had a Leon series, I would be in on that in a second. But we're here to talk about Mega Man, which is, you now have that license back. Have you had it back for a while? Because I know you guys have been doing Master Mix for a while, which is the Japanese.
Yeah, we've had the rights to do the manga in different forms for like quite a long time. At least 15 years or more. And Archie had, so that's Hitoshi Rika's mangas, and we've done a few other Mega Man mangas, and we're probably doing more soon. But Archie had the comic license from 2011 to 2016, something like that, and then their relationship with Capcom ended. They did 55 issues, and some of them were crossovers with Sonic the Hedgehog. So Mega Man's been gone since 2016 from comics, except for Boom did one miniseries that was specifically tied to an animated series, like Mega Man.
I did not like that design at all.
Yeah, and that's why they have the that was like the animated series company had the rights to sub-license to people, so they license it directly to Boom, as far as I understand. So we picked up the comic license. We started talking to Capcom about it last year, and then last year, I guess now it's 2 years. So in 2024, and our first comics came out last year, Free Comic Book Day 2025, and then we've been going since then. So Capcom actually came to us and asked us, "Why aren't you doing Mega Man comics?" And we said, "Well, we'd love to. We've asked for years, but at the time, the producers weren't interested in dealing with it. But now they want us to. So great."
And it's interesting that you're jumping into Mega Man X, and I'm trying to find where I left.
Sure. So first last year we did Mega Man Timelines, which was 5 one-shots for 5 different eras of Mega Man. If you don't know Mega Man, there are like 7 different versions of them, but the 5 of them are part of the same timeline. Like every 100 years or so, there's a new Mega Man.
Sure.
And that was just to give as many different types of Mega Man fans a little something before we jump into a series. And now we're doing a Mega Man X series.
Yeah. And I mean, we were talking about this before the show. Like Mega Man X, I think, what was the dates here? 2010 is when that came out, and there was another Mega Man game for 8 years until Mega Man 11 in 2018, which is like crazy. And so Mega Man
there's a new game coming out next year for classic Mega Man.
I love it.
Oh wow.
I mean, so Mega Man X was kind of this character that was frozen in time for a lot of Mega Man fans, because it kind of became where we remember the classic Mega Man, and then a lot of younger people might know him from the Smash Brothers games because he's a playable character in that, in his classic costume. But the Mega Man X costume was definitely, here it is. This is the one that a lot of people, maybe in their late 20s, mid 20s, early 30s might recognize him more.
Mega Man X2 is when they really started injecting like story into it. Like the classic Mega Man games are there's 8 bad robots. You got to go stop them. Dr. Wily made 8 more robots, and that's about it, And the Mega Man X games have like characters die and characters get stronger and characters change sides and all kinds of things.
And look how fun this cover is.
Oh wow,
this is an homage to the original Super Nintendo cover. Actually, issue 0 has an homage to the Japanese cover, the incentive cover for number 0.
I guess I have to see if we have that in there. But like there was another one, and maybe let's see if I go jump into it. No, we don't have the 0 in there.
It just came out last month.
Okay. And then this is the variant for next month. Right here.
Yeah, so this is like what if Zero was on the cover of the Super Nintendo issue.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean I'm gonna have to get these. I mean, I think I had to hunt down the one that came out. Let's see if I can find it. But the Mega Man cover, the Transformer homage.
Oh yeah, that one's great. Some of the guys at Hasbro have asked for some copies of that, so I got to send them a box.
Oh really? Yeah. I wonder if I'm trying to find what issue was that? I'm blanking. Oh, here it is. Right
that was Mega Man Legends Timelines.
Yes. Yeah. Man, it's a lot of hard to. There you go.
Hey, hold it up for a second, Matt. I'll blow up your. Oops.
I had to find a copy of this too.
So when we solicited it, we actually didn't include the two guys on the side, Battle Network and Star Force Mega Mans, the two little guys in the background. Because in the past we've had to always say like, oh, we actually aren't allowed to use those guys for reasons. In years past, we weren't allowed to use them because there were other media like rights because they had animated series, stuff like that. So we couldn't use those characters in big like Mega Man crossover like art projects and stuff. But so everyone just assumed we weren't allowed to use them still. So we just snuck them onto that cover to sort of quiet announce like, yes, we're allowed to use these guys now.
Now, were you part of the Mega Man series at Dreamwave too?
Yeah, I worked on it there too. So that the art's great and the writing's fun, but unfortunately, I don't think Brian Augusta knew a ton about Mega Man, and he's kind of a lot more like Astro Boy in those.
I mean, but the thing is, this is the first appearance of Mega Man in a modern in a comic.
Yeah.
So like this cover is hands down my favorite Mega Man comic cover.
Cool.
Not to take any offense of UDON, you can prove yourself in this up next run.
Well, Mick, who drew that, is the guy who drew Mega Man Legends Timelines.
Oh,
there you go.
I love it. I mean, there's some like this one's really hard to find. It's a second print that's missing the price box in there.
Full disclosure, Matt DeVoe has been a huge Mega Man fan for forever. His like he's like goes by Mega Matt. He's like right. Just So
that's why I was getting to talk about all this stuff today. I mean, like even the Master Mix stuff. If you guys ever come across these covers are like, I don't know why they're so tiny. But
we reprinted the manga and colorized it while Archie was doing their comic because we were like, well, maybe people just aren't giving the manga a chance because they just don't read manga. So let's put it in a comic book shape and see if we can get them to check out these stories because the Hitoshi Ariga stories are amazing.
Yes. This cover is impossible to find.
Oh, really?
Impossible. Yeah.
It didn't sell great at the time.
No, I mean just try Googling it. You can't find it anywhere.
So I can probably guess partly why like we've been dealing with it right now, but the Mega Man fans are still learning what current comics are like. Like they're learning about variant covers and incentive covers. Right. And we kind of had to explain at the beginning. So like, oh no, this comic can have multiple covers, but it's the same inside. And this is why this one costs $40 because we're only making like
that's really an issue.
Well, a lot of them are new people who don't collect comics. And when Archie did their series, they only did maybe one or sometimes two covers.
Is that because they're coming from the manga world, or they're just
they're just video gamers who don't maybe like some of them, a lot of them know, but some of them are just video gamers who don't collect comics. But now because it's Mega Man, they'll come and get it. That's why we're hoping for free. I mean, it's always kind of like this, but for Free Comic Book Day, we'll have a lot of new people who don't come into comic stores come in to get the new Mega Man comic or the new Street Fighter comic.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we deal with that a lot too because a lot of people come into comics and ask us like, how does this work? Why is it so complicated? What's a variant? What's an incentive variant? All the different aspects of it, and it is a lot to kind of wrap your head around. But once you get it, it's more addicting than anything else.
So a lot of people will. It's interesting. Like I'm constantly the second you put something on social, your X2, if people don't know, there, if you come here, that you'll see cover X1. Your cover X2s are some of the hottest things in comics. The second you announce it, the X2.
This series, Darkstalkers Cross Street Fighter was a little different, but
Yeah.
not all of them had that same X2, but some of them do. So that Rainbow Mika one's probably a better example. I mean, it's a little hot,
I'm trying not to hover on it too much.
Try the Cami one there. So that Cami is like an X1, and the X2 was like a 250 limited variant. In this case, we actually, if you bought the variant, you got another comic book. That had so this is a Street Fighter 2 Cami, and then the X1 is Street Fighter 6 Cami, and you got a free connecting cover of DeCapre, who's like the other Cami.
I didn't know that. I should have got those, because I got the
that was actually the artist's idea.
that's really smart, because there was some I'm trying, maybe I should do a better search for this, but
a lot of them are sold out, and we eventually take them.
Oh, they're off the page?
Not always, but
your dark, there was the Felicia that you guys, the Ickpot.
The Felicia one, we kind of went backwards, and the original one was limited. It was like a plain Felicia, is limited to 250, and it sold out right away.
Right.
And we're like, it sold out so fast, let's put up another one that's not limited. So the people who missed out.
Well, then Ickpot went onto social media. He was blasting people who were repurposing his covers by recoloring them and
we talked about that with him. He's not a fan of
people like this is what I do, and use this cover as the example.
Yeah, so he doesn't want like the publisher should just take his cover and switch the colors and say, oh, we have 2 Ickpot covers. He wants to be involved and make a slightly different version actually himself, rather than just change it to black and white with gold hair or something like that. He's very good with us.
This was probably the cover that put Ickpot on the map, and then the shadow version of this.
So this follows what our usual thought is to do these. So for the X1, we'll do like in this case, a normal bride, and then the X2 will be like a shadow bride with like a dark costume. And in my head, the plain one is actually the better artwork. Like the more like the regular white bride Chun-Li is the more iconic artwork. So we'll give the special version the limitedness, but most people probably want the white one. So we'll make that one not limited.
I don't know. This red one's pretty darn good.
That one pops for sure. I like the tattoo.
There's something about the coloring, and I will say this is Ickpot's most reserved cover.
Yeah, he has a lot of fun.
Like he's gotten the nickname, and I'm just sharing it, but people call him Thickpot.
Yeah.
We have a question from the people listening to the audience. So Matt, will we ever get a tournament crossover with Street Fighter, Fatal Fury, and Final Fight?
Oh, that would be awesome.
I mean, that'd be cool. We are planning our next Street Fighter series is not announced yet. Is something of a tournament, and might have some other properties in it. So I don't know if you caught. So he said Street Fighter and Final Fight. Those are both Capcom properties. Fatal Fury is SNK, which is a different company, but they get along very well. Some of the Fatal Fury characters are in Street Fighter,
like Terry.
Yeah,
Terry's the one I know the most, and then Mika. What's the one with the Maya, right?
With your licensing, do you have I know you talked about the publishers all controlling their own like little fiefdoms and stuff, but do you have that continuity or that ability to mix and match and create like the universe, kind of like what Energon's doing with the Energon verse and stuff like that?
Yeah, so in actual Street Fighter and Final Fight have always been the same continuity. In fact, Final Fight was originally supposed to be called Street Fighter. It was going to be a Street Fighter sequel.
Oh, interesting.
But they just changed it, like, oh, this is a really cool game, but this is not really Street Fighter-y. Let's do that too, and then let's make another game to be the Street Fighter sequel, which we got Street Fighter 2 instead. But for years, we just kept Darkstalkers separate, and we kind of said, well, they're too powerful, and like they're these magical monsters. It wouldn't really be fair to the Street Fighter guys who are just regular humans. And then eventually we decided let's do a crossover, Street Fighter versus Darkstalkers. Let's just say they were always in the same universe, so we just decided. So in our universe right now is Street Fighter, Darkstalkers, Final Fight, and Rival Schools. Rival Schools has always been loosely, semi-officially connected to Street Fighter, and then with Street Fighter 5, they said it's official and it's part of the same universe too.
That's
so
awesome.
those are our four main properties. There are a couple other small Capcom properties that are part of that universe.
Who owns Clay Fighters? And John, who owns the game that we played in
Clay
the
Fighter?
arcade?
Who owns that? I don't know.
With the ice guy and the Inferno and
Inferno and
Killer Instinct.
Glacier.
Killer Instinct.
It was
Killer Instinct. Yeah, that was rare, but yeah.
Clay Fighter is Interplay. Who owns Interplay these days? Interplay parent company. I don't know.
And
I think someone has bought them over the years.
So one question Gabe was asking here, are there going to be any store exclusives for Mega Man X, like those X2s? Because those X2s, they go so fast. The second they're announced, if you don't show up on the time you're going to drop them, you're going to miss them. So it's kind of
the X1, X2s we will always do for the Udon store for like pretty much every comic that we release. We even do like a variant for the free comic book day book every year, and that's partly because a lot of people can't get to free comic book day or they don't have a store in their small town or something. So we have some variant cover on the website at least. But yeah, pretty much every issue for I don't think I have one here, but for the Mega Man X comics, we're doing connecting covers of all the girls of Mega Man X. So every issue has like 2 girls, and then they connect, and there's 6 of them total.
Right.
But yeah, we're definitely doing exclusive covers. So right now we just do our usual Street Fighter thing is to do a $20 X1 and a $50 X2 that is limited to 250.
Yes, and I end up spending like I end up buying 2 or 3 of them.
And for Mega Man, we've been easing them into the fans into that kind of idea. So we're just doing an X1 cover that is $40, and it's not limited. But we'll see in the future if you know the fans are into those kind of covers, if we'll do some actual limited covers. But for now, it's just we take pre-orders and then we decide how many to print based on that.
When strategizing like what to do, variants and stuff like that, does your team ever consider the secondary market, or is it more about what's going to sell new releases and then we'll move on to something else?
We just consider ourselves selling it, really. Yeah, we don't really think about the secondary market, although it's awesome to look at eBay sometimes and like, oh my gosh, this book's selling for this much, or some of our art books even sell for a ton of money, and you know that those are going to come back. Like when something goes out of print, like our Elden Ring art book is out of print right now. I think it's gonna be back in like a couple weeks, but the first Elden Ring art book I just saw it on eBay for like $400.
Yeah, I was just the Worlds Collide Unite series, like those collected books they cost a premium, and Gabe was talking about. So one of my favorite things that you guys did early on, and I know Archie did this before too, but no one does them anymore because they're too risky. But mega connecting sets. So you guys did one with Street Fighter where there were 12 covers. Yep. There was one with Sonic and Mega and a bunch of other Capcom characters. That was another 12 issue connecting cover. And then there was G.I. Joe, I think, did one too. But
yeah, 12 was the most we ever did. So the Mega Man X series has 2 6-part connecting cover series. Right. So all the B covers connect for Mega Man X, and all the Udon Store X covers, like X1 covers connect. Did
you see that chase kind of aspect? Did that help sell the comics, or was that more of just like, let's just see how many we can get away with? 12 seems like a good number, or did you actually see that like people were going after it because of
it? Was just a fun idea, but we wanted to create an image that had every Street Fighter character in it because it didn't exist at the time.
Yep. My goal is to create a 9.8 set of the Mega Man Worlds Unite.
But then you can't push them all together.
Nope, I'm pushing them all together in a graded set. So.
I've been trying to find an artist who would do like, can't do every Mega Man character, but like all the big bosses from all the Mega Man games, and I'm up to like 400 and 500 characters in the list. I don't know if anybody would draw it for us, but
Oh
to do
my
like a
God.
big mega connecting cover.
I'll have to pull it. I showed it on a couple shows ago. I'll have to find it. But there's a Game Informer that I love. It was around the time when Mega Man X came out, and it has all the versions of Mega Man. One of my favorite covers of Mega Man Classic on the front, and then all the different iterations that kind of wrap around to the back cover. It's a fantastic cover. And it's hard to find that book because Game Informer was just mailed. They just slapped a label on them and threw them in the mail, and they would come destroyed by the by the time.
Speaking of Archie, we're collecting the Archie issues as well.
Oh, sweet.
Trade paperbacks for some of those are expensive. So we're doing the whole series in 4 oversized hardcovers, just like the Udon Street Fighter oversized hardcovers.
Oh, wow.
The first one's coming out in May. The only thing we can't include the crossovers in it, the Sonic Mega Man crossovers. But we hope it's something we can explore in the future. Just there's a lot of stakeholders to make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Matt, what should people look for immediately? So if they wanted to look out for something in the next week or two, I mean, we have Comics Pro coming next week. Are you guys doing anything for that? And then what should they be ordering in the next week or two? What should they be going to their store in the next week and two? And what should they be buying off of UDON?
Well, let's see. Next in stores next week is Mega Man X #1.
There you go.
We did a 0 issue before this, kind of like a prelude of the what's called the highway stage in Mega Man X, which is just sort of like a prelude level before you get into the real levels. And this is the first issue with the main creative team. Let me try some of that. Here's just the regular guys in the comic, not too spoilery. But yeah, this is the team of Daniel Arsenault and Hanzo Steinbeck. Daniel wrote the Mega Man X Timelines one shot, and he's continuing with the series. He's a huge Mega Man fan. There we go. And Hanzo Steinbeck he drew the Mega Man 0 issue, so we put them together for this.
Yeah, and if you guys want this variant, you're gonna have to probably. I know you can buy it off of your website right now for like $20, I think.
Yeah, we try to. That's what we think of. Probably a comic store would sell it for, or maybe a little less. We don't want to undercut them.
Yep. It's the 1 in 5, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much as far as we go these days.
So 1 in 5 is probably what stores are going to do, right? Do you find?
Yeah. We're just looking for stores to like. Oh, you're going to buy 3 or 4. Well, buy 1 more.
Right,
and you'll get this cover.
Right.
We have a question from Gabe. Just does this series follow the game storylines like the Archie series did?
Yeah, in this case, we're retelling the story of X1, like the first Mega Man X game, with a few additions and changes here and there. Like 0 is a bigger part of the story than he was in the actual game, because everybody loves 0.
Yeah.
But yeah, for now, so this story is like a very direct, retell the game story. Mega Man Timelines was our own original story.
You just got 6 exclamation points in excitement for that.
You
So.
said yes. I mean, the art looks. Is this the same art that's inside, or are these just?
That is Edwin, who drew the Timelines issue. Edwin Wong. So this is the first, the second part of the 6-part connecting image for all the B covers.
Oh, okay. So I see the B covers connect. Right.
And this one's a retailer exclusive. I forget which retailer.
If we have Syndicate Comics and Collectibles.
There you go.
Yep. Artist is Paul Robertson.
Yes, cool. And it is different that there is another famous Paul Robertson artist. This is another guy also named Paul Robertson.
He means like Paul W. Robertson.
It's like having too many Matts on the.
Right.
Our team is filled with Matts, and you guys are both Matt. It's everywhere.
There are too many Matts in the world. And then, are you bringing anything to Comics Pro that people should like? Because what happens with Comics Pro is everyone's waiting to hear what variants are going to be like the sneaky ones, and maybe you have to save it for Comics Pro. But
we'll see. I'm deciding. We do have a comic we don't have a plan for yet, so maybe I'll bring some to Comics Pro and give them out to people. But otherwise, we have. Let me grab here. We have 2 comics going up for sale on our store tomorrow. So we have we're doing like a sale with like a hood, like a Street Fighter Shadaloo hoodie, and some exclusive items and stuff. So to go with that, we just have a few Street Fighter variants we hadn't decided what to do with yet. So this is Guile. So the regular Street Fighter Masters Guile cover is like Street Fighter 2 Guile.
Sure.
And we have this cover of Street Fighter, same thing. Genzo Man drew it with Street Fighter 6 Guile. So you can get that on our store tomorrow. And you can also get the second part of, I'll open this one.
Didn't Street Fighter 6, his hair gets even bigger somehow?
Could be. He's got a beard now.
Oh, there you go.
So this is the second part of our World Tour
I like
jam
the
cover.
Yeah.
So we did last San Diego. We did a cover that looks kind of like this, that had a bunch of characters on it.
That's
Street
cool.
Fighter 6.
Oh, that's super
And
cool.
this is the second part that connects on which side? On this side here. Yeah. So, and I think you still get that cover as well on the website.
When did Jinx become such a big character? Because I feel like she's everywhere.
Jury.
Jury. Sorry, not
Yeah.
Jinx. Jury.
Yeah, I think she's become huge. She's their most successful new character for sure. I think she's almost getting to the levels of like Cammy and Chun-Li.
Right. She's
People love her.
everywhere. Yeah.
I mean, she's a kickboxer and she has bare feet, so there's also the feet aspect for some people.
Oh, man. So you know your audience.
Yeah,
pretty well.
you're dialed in.
So yeah, both of those
here
are
we
going
go.
on sale on the
Feet.
UDON store tomorrow.
Oh, you're right. Because isn't there one where she's holding a lollipop with her feet?
Yeah, we did a cover where she has her foot with a lollipop out in front. And
Listen,
she's fully clothed in her outfit. That's not even a swimsuit cover, but people were super into it.
I'll have to find the Jerry.
It was Street Fighter 6 number 0.
And you're saying you can get that from tomorrow on the UDON website?
Yes, udonstore.com is the easiest way to get there. The one with Guile, they're both covers to Street Fighter Masters Guile number 1, which came out a couple weeks ago. But the one with Guile is $10, and the World Tour wraparound is $20. And I believe you can get the other World Tour is also $20 if you didn't get it last year. And there'll be a third part to it unless Capcom adds even more characters to Street Fighter 6, and we'll have to do more parts.
They will. Don't worry.
There are so many covers for Street Fighter Prime 0. Man,
it's Street Fighter 6 number 0.
Street Fighter
for the number 6. Yeah. That's the issue there. It was only sold on our website. It was the free comic book day issue.
Another question for you is: does UDON have all of Capcom, like Phoenix Wright?
We're the only people doing Capcom comics right now, and Capcom has asked us about some other properties, so we're talking here and there about what to do.
That's great.
But yeah, awesome. We're not doing any Phoenix Wright at the moment, but it's a cool property. We've done art books for it.
So would you ever there are a lot of people who wait for like their favorite artists to do these characters. That I do see Street Fighter characters are some of the more popular ones that will get commissioned. Especially if a lot of artists have ever not done one. Like, I mean, I'm sure Art Adams, I wonder how many Street Fighter characters he's been asked to do, but you would never see an Art Adams Street Fighter cover, probably.
One of my favorite artists drew Street Fighter, and I wanted for years to get that art, but it's not accessible. So
who was that?
Mike Wieringo.
Oh, yeah.
Before UDON, before UDON had the Street Fighter license, in the late 90s, some little company did a Street Fighter pitch to get the Street Fighter license. They had Mike Wieringo do one pinup and I think 4 or 6 pages, and they're all for Street Fighter 3. And the pinup appeared in like a magazine, actually. But Mike passed away many years ago. I've talked to his brother, and he's physically looked through all his like assets of art and hasn't been able to find any of it. But I would love to one day be able to like publish that art.
That's awesome.
That'd be amazing.
To be running the publishing and doing that aspect of it and being a fan is pretty cool, because then you have the power to actually go around and be like, we want that, let's find that, and trying to get the army of fans to mobilize. So if anyone's listening and that art, reach out to Matt. The only clue I had was there's like a weird colorist that I think there were like 414 colors, like was the signature, and I've never been able to figure out who that was, because I'm like, the colorist must have the file, but
So here's
Oh, right now. Sorry.
No, go for it. Sorry. Yeah.
I was just saying, have you found that online, like the actual image itself? Is
I
that
found
something-
the images online, but yeah, I've never figured out who the colorist was who actually colored it because they had a pseudonym.
Now, can you have Ickpot do Mega Man?
And if so, will he make his feet big?
We're still testing the Mega Man guys for how sexy we can go.
There you go. The sexiest Mega Man ever.
I'll tell you that in June we'll have a comic with our first Mega Man swimsuit cover. Try to guess who's on the cover. So
Okay.
Right. So the one thing I was going to show just before, I know we're running out of time here, but like I was going to show some of the most valuable UDON books here. We have like this one Nicki Minaj homage, a Chun-Li. This is a pretty pricey book, $371. It's the last 9.8, 150 raw.
That cover has a funny story too. I don't
know does it?
Let's hear it.
I asked the artist Rob to draw this. I told him this idea. He's like, "Oh, great!" So he came up with this whole design. I just wanted him to put Chun-Li in this pose, but he came up with this whole outfit design. And unbeknownst to me, at the same time, the creative services division of UDON had been contracted to do this idea with a different artist. Long Vo was also doing this idea for I think for a convention.
No way.
And then so there's two parts of Capcom and two parts of UDON doing this idea, and this got approved and it got announced like you can order it. And the other part of Capcom didn't know that this was a different image, and they were like, "What are you doing? You're like releasing this image. We're not even supposed to talk about it. It's not done yet." And they didn't know it was a different image. We'd come up with the same idea.
Oh my God. You should do like a connecting cover of them or something, or
yeah.
That is awesome.
I mean, here's the cover.
Yeah,
it was a big out. Doesn't she? Yeah, the album was called Chun-Li, so we had to do it.
Right.
She actually called the album that.
Yep. And then we had so here's some of this was a shadow Chun-Li.
Yeah, that's back when you only did 100 of them. We were like, can we sell 100 comics for $50? That's crazy. Can we sell 100? And yeah, we sold those. Now we do 250. It seems to be the good spot. Once in a while, there's definitely an issue where like we could have sold 500 or 1,000 of this, but
I mean, even this book down here, it was a 1 in 10, which is a pretty high ratio. It's part, this Rainbow Mika. Whoa, I don't even know if I should show this one. But it's $100.
Yeah, we did once. Let's see what I had here. We did a 1 in 40 and a 1 in 50, but we just did them once. This was by the 1 in 40 is this Bengus cover, who is a Street Fighter game artist. So he drew that for us. And then the 1 in 50 was this, which was just a gold foil version of this blank sketch cover.
That's a 1 in 50. Wow.
Yes. For Street Fighter Unlimited, #1.
That's going to be a tough one to track. And then we had, this was probably the lowest printed one in the past.
That was a retailer exclusive for Art Germ.
Yep. It was a Jika, right?
The one I always see. So this is the only comic I ever got CGC just to try it out. But like the only UDON comic, only any comic is this Art Germ comic cover.
Yes.
So this is his first Street Fighter or Darkstalkers cover ever.
That is my grail. That is probably the #1 book I want the most. And like, so here I'll show you. I was getting there. We were 2 away, but this is the most valuable.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, I spoiled it.
No, it's good. I'm jealous that you have one. I mean, look, this sells for sold like 2 years ago. It sold for $1,100 and 9.8, and the most recent one last year was $821. Some have this $200.
This 9.8 that I have. This was sitting unsleeved in a box for a couple of years, and I guess it was fine.
So how much does Matt have to give you to get that from you? Is
$1,100 apparently?
Yeah.
Well, here you want hope here.
Oh, son of a...
So I can still have one if you.
I will trade you a gazillion comics for that.
Okay, we'll talk.
Bring it to Comics Pro. We'll see. We'll work out some deals.
And then the other one I was going to show was these. We actually covered Kenduken last week. his fanfare is growing a lot, and so his covers
He did
are
5 of them. I got them here.
yeah, they're super sought out. So this is a $600 9.8.
Oh my gosh!
And the Cami just sold last week for I think 500.
Yeah, he did.
So that's the second most valuable Street Fighter book of or
Cami.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that Cami is hot.
He did this one's great too. It's possible they're not. I'm trying to remember if they're all him. Yeah, this one says Kandokin.
Yeah, that's Kandokin. Yeah.
Wow. But he did that one. So there was a change at one point. I forget which ones, but some of them he just drew, and we had an artist color them, and some of them he did himself.
Would you ever do a run of Darkstalkers and more? Would you do more covers with them? Because I know the fan demand.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'd love to get him back to do some covers.
Yeah, he did one for, I don't know if I'll find it, but there was a Betty and Veronica Street Fighter homage.
Yeah, he homaged these covers.
But Betty it looked just covers. Like Chun-Li and Cammy.
Yeah, it's, cosplay variants, I guess. I mean, it's only fair. Or where's this one I brought up? It's only fair. We did this cover.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But so people love those. A lot of those homage covers are extremely popular.
Yeah, I got a pile of them. I pulled those out because they were fun. We've done a few, but we did one for every issue of Unlimited. So we did the Fighting Dead.
That just sold for $250 2 weeks ago.
Wow. We did Zangief breaking Ryu's back.
That just sold for $150 recently.
Yeah. Street Wars.
That one is about a $50-$60 book, but I do have that one, and I love that one.
Yeah, that was number 1, so people probably thought to get it. We did Warrior magazine.
That one's tough to find. You don't see that one too often.
This one is Street Fighter, but STREET Fighter as
well. That's number 1. That one's fun. Yeah,
that is cool.
And this is my favorite, Street Fighter Alpha, which is X-Men Alpha number 1.
That's fun.
And I sent it to Joe Madden, and he thought it was great.
So this is our Shaker report from 2 weeks ago. So here's that Kandukin. It sold for $600 in a 9.8.
Man,
$180 raw. Yeah.
And
then we were going through some of the other homage covers. So this Darkstalker, the Scotty Young book is
that's a very old Scotty Young. That's
$300 plus.
Oh my gosh, this is the first Darkstalker series.
Yeah, no, this is because Scotty Young fans have gone after so many of his older stuff, and this is kind of hard to find. There was one I was going to show you. Here's some of these other homage covers.
Oh,
$125 in January. Here's these
movie poster ones were fun. All the movie poster ones are done by Joe Vreens. All those Darkstalkers.
This just sold for $200 in May.
What? That's Danger Girl number 1.
Yep.
So most of these are comic. Almost all the homages are comics that I love to cover. So my ideas that I asked the guys to do.
And it's just so funny because I remember seeing them sit in the Focus Attack sale, what is it, the store for years, and if actually you go to the Wayback Machine and you go to Focus Attack around 2015, you can go through it like year by year, and they're just sitting there at like $10 a pop, and then now they're like commanding these crazy high prices because not only are we paying, what's that?
Well, some of the older inventory like that is at our current store, and we just haven't gone through it all. There might be a bunch of these there, but
time to crack it open.
Might destroy the market, destroy the secondary market. We need a reserve list like in Magic. We promise never to sell these again.
Yeah.
if you could do like a UDON club, and you get one of these books every month for
sure.
Anyhow, but I mean, this is what's fun. I'm telling you, the fanfare around this stuff is bubbling. A lot of people are going for a lot. There's even some of the stuff that we were talking about this last night was Top Shelf. They've been doing a lot of Mega Man covers, and they did some Street Fighter stuff. I know that some of those sell for $200-$300 a piece. I mean, it's kind of bonkers what the right cover will do in the aftermarket. There's people like me who are itching for this stuff.
Yeah,
So like,
if you haven't noticed, most of all the recent top shelf ones are Punisher cover homages with Mega Man X.
oh, interesting.
They're all like Mike Zeck covers.
There was, let's see if I can find it. It was
if there's a lot of blasts happening, then it must be a Mike Zeck homage.
Was it Timelines? Was that the last one?
They just did one for X number 1 and X number 0. They
Oh,
might
here
not
it
have,
is.
they decide when to put them out, so they might not all be.
So there was this Timelines one right there.
That one, I don't know what it's an homage for, but it must be something.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I know what it is either.
I mean, wait, go back to that for a second.
I do like
the 0.
this one.
It's got to be something 80s.
It looks feels like an Ultimate X-Men thing or something. But,
yeah, if anyone
with the bars.
Be a homage to.
Oh, we should do an Ultimate cover. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I totally bought an issue of Youngblood just because it had an Ultimate variant.
Oh, here were some of the other ones
Yeah.
I did. So there was they had this one.
Yeah, these ones just seem to be for fun. So this one's also just for fun. So the next one after this for Mega Man X number 0 and X number 1 are very much Mike Zeck homages.
And then they had this one.
So good.
Yeah, so I mean, this is kind of what I want to see. I love stuff like this. But
that one actually was that was drawn like 10 years ago, that cutaway one.
Oh, really?
For something else, and we didn't do it. And then like, oh, we still have this Mega Man X drawing. Let's make it a cover.
Yeah. Pull them out. Pull out the art. It sounds like
sometimes
fun.
we'll have some art that sits for quite a while that we, did it for something and then didn't use it. For Final Fight, we did a bunch of movie poster homages too.
Are you going to do more movie poster homages?
Yeah, and we want to actually print them out as posters. So
that's smart.
Do that.
Oh, wow. That'd be fun.
I mean, this made our top 10, not because I'm a fan. It's all generated by what people buy. It was just nice to see it on the top 10.
Gabe's calling out that cover, Wolverine 24 by Jim Lee.
For that yeah, there you go.
Yes.
I probably have that within reaching distance. I've got all my X-Men in boxes over here.
This is probably one of my favorite Mega Man covers. I do like this one a lot.
Ooh, that's going to be in the collection.
Nice. I know these are still on the stores. You can get these are all connecting, right?
They don't connect, but they're like a theme. They're all the girls from that particular series, whichever. Like each cover is all the girls from that series.
And I think these were X2 covers. I know they were X1.
Yeah, we've only for the Mega Man books, we've only done X1s, but they're $40 instead of like a $50 cover.
So are we getting an X2 Mega Man cover?
We don't have one planned yet, so not before at least June. But
okay, because I'm ready to buy one like right now. All right. Well, fun. This was a lot of fun. I wish we could we could spend all day on a lot of these. Just these brands. I could have done a whole show on just Darkstalkers.
And we will.
And we will. I mean, I have a stack of stuff right here. There's all like Street Fighter books. So
yeah, I'm happy to come back anytime. Pick a different subject.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we end the show?
Yeah, anything that people should be looking out for? I think we covered it, but
yeah, Free Comic Book Days coming up, and anybody who's like, if you a Mega Man fan or a Street Fighter fan, if you don't regularly come out to comic stores, go check out Free Comic Book Day, and you can get a Mega Man comic and or a Street Fighter comic and see what comics are all about.
Nice. And if your store, if you want any of these, if you want to jump on Mega Man X1, tell your shop to order them because they might not, right? So
yeah, we just got in our orders today, but we did give the distributors some extra. So if your store hasn't ordered yet, they still have a chance to get a few extra. But we have the biggest orders on both books ever for Free Comic Book Day. Like they individually both broke our Free Comic Book Day records.
Wow.
Like quite a lot, by about 55% of the highest we've ever done.
And you have a variant for it, you said, right?
Yeah, we don't reveal it because we don't want to steal the store's thunder until after Free Comic Book Day. Sure. But yeah, we will sell a version on the UDON website of both of those books. But yeah, it's partly that. So the people running it, Universal, also own Alliance Games distributors, and we got a, not the hugest ever, but a significant order from the game store market. So they're trying out Free Comic Book Day this year, and we're also distributing through Universal themselves in Canada to Canadian comic book stores, and mainly through Lunar, and the Lunar orders are huge. So great.
Wow. So is that your main distributor? Is Lunar?
Yeah, for direct market, Lunar is the main one, and then also Universal, but really just in Canada right now. But I think they want to expand.
Nice.
I mean, it's appropriate because I mean, like, I don't know if you saw, but Dork #1 took over that. I don't know if you saw that book, but it's the hottest book of the week. It's kind of like an all ages type book. Like, now is a great time if you have a book like that trending. Put your all ages type books like kind of close to it, so as those kids are coming in, picking up a Dork 1. I mean, they're not picking them up right now because they're $80 a pop on eBay. But
we've done a Mega Man book and a Street Fighter book for 2 years in a row now, and the Mega Man one has won out both years. And I'm sure it's because the Mega Man one is all ages, so it's just got a little bit more appeal for Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, for sure.
We should do a Rockman variant, just for the
for Japan.
For Japan. Yeah.
Matt, thank you so much for
thank you
joining us, for sharing the stories. It's always fun to hear about like behind the scenes what's going on. So thank you for that. We'll definitely have you on again when we do our Dark Stalkers conversation, and we'll see you at Comics Pro.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun to connect. We'll be there the whole time.
Awesome. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks, folks.
Join us next week.